Welcome back to episode 10 of the 928 GT series. Now, for anyone waiting for more work on the 79 car, it's coming up really soon. There's a couple of things I need to get done on the GT first just to get that usable. It seems a shame just to have that sort of sat there and not being used while this one is wholly off the road because it's been completely stripped down. But that'll be coming up hopefully next week, if not maybe the week after. I need to see how things play out. But yeah, this week we're back on the GT. I can finally announce that I have negotiated with Radtec. Radtec makes some of the best radiators for Porsche. If you remember, I put a Radtec Radiator in my 79 car. That's been phenomenal. And I've finally have one for the GT car now. And all the negotiation has been around trying to get you guys a discount. So if you look down in my description there, there's, I think I put a code and a phone number to call or an email address to call, to email, quoting my channel, and you get a 10% discount. That's a fantastic discount on some of the best radiators you can buy. So as you've seen, I've taken my radiator right now. What I'm going to do is fit the Radtec radiator. I'll give you some good look, sort of pans across the radiator. You can see what it looks like. I'm tempted to get it on the scales actually because I've got my original radiator here. Oh, okay. I can tell you now it weighs significantly less than the default radiator. It's I can pick the Radtec radiator up with one hand very easily. This is the original. I can pick it up, but I reckon it's probably nearly twice the weight. So there's quite a few kilogram weight saving there as well. But you have a look at the build quality. The welds are beautiful. It's powder coated, looks fantastic. And I'm going to fit it right on camera so you can see, make sure that it all fits. I've not measured it against the original one yet. I'll do that in a second. But it looks like it's going to go straight in, just as the original one did, the 79 car. That radiator, I didn't do anything. I literally just dropped it in. Perfect fit, perfect from there on. So yeah, so please go check out their website. Again, link in the description. Please support them. Use my discount code. All helps the channel, helps Radtec, helps you guys. Everybody's happy. Right, I managed to get the car up on a ramp and I've got the old coat on so you know where I'm going. Up and under, down and under. I'm going to whip out those two drain plugs on the block. If you remember this side, I never took out. This side I did. So we're going to completely drain the block of coolant. I'll drain the radiator, then it should just be a matter of lifting that radiator out and slotting the new one in. But yeah, let's get under there and drain. Double draining. Who'd have thought it, huh? And you can hear it sort of coming out a bit quicker as I pulled the cap up. Very neatly into my containers. Okay, with the two drain plugs done, all we need to do now then is drain the main radiator. Coming up then. There we are. No, oh, I got the connector still, haven't I? Okay, through frustration, I turned the camera off and sort of went at it a little bit more poetically and managed to get it out. So we are just lifting the radiator out now. Pour a little bit more water out. I don't know what it's catching on. Theoretically, it should just lift out. There we are. Right, old radiator coming out. So the one hidden bit of info I didn't mention is that I was going away on holiday skiing for 10 days. You know, YouTube, you can never announce, or any of these social media things, you can never announce when you're at home or when you're not at home. And I'm pretty free with sort of seeing the location I live, so I didn't want to advertise that I wasn't at home. So I had the Radtec radiator on order, and they told me it'd be about 6 weeks delivery because they're extremely busy at the moment, etc. So I ordered it and went away on holiday, and then they emailed me and said, good news, we've managed to rush through your order, it'll be with you tomorrow. At this point, I was midway through France, driving down to the Alps. So panic. I had to talk to my neighbour, knowing that the delivery guy was going to turn up and not have a great deal of joy. And there's this big radiator, and what's he going to do? He can't just leave it at the front door, can he? I guess he could, but then who's going to walk along and take it, or who knows? So I asked my neighbour, elderly couple who were feeding my cat, if they would mind popping round and putting a note on the door to tell the delivery guy to deliver it at their house. And then I'll pick it up from them. They very kindly walked it round, which I feel awful about, because it's not heavy, but it's bulky. They walked it round and I got it home. Yeah, not ideal. Right, super excited to get this thing open. It's had a pretty long journey here, as you saw, and it doesn't seem to have suffered any damage, which is good. This is first time opening, so I don't know what we're going to see inside. So look, seems really well packed. Right, that's better. So we have, look at that, very nicely packed, all secure, lots of the appropriate stuff, so it keeps it on the way. There's a couple of PR things I need to be using those later on, so I'll tuck them out the way. And then a lot of this packing stuff, whatever you call this, chewed up paper. Let's try and get the radiator up and out first so we can have a look. Right, nice and light. Actually feels lighter than the original one, which is good. Let's try to very gently unwrap it without cutting it. We can have a look. It should slide out like an envelope. Don't worry, I know it's upside down. That's not a problem. Here we go. Well, you can see how nice and light it is. The other one I can't pick up one-handed. This I can very easily. I think the whole thing in the box, with the box included, is 8 kilograms, I believe. So it's pretty light. There we go. Look at that. What a thing of beauty, huh? So I'll give you a zoom in and we can have a sort of walk over and see what you think. That looks really nice. Okay, so I've transferred across the thermostat and I actually put a little tiny bit of sealant on there, the same blue sealant that I put on the water pump. I'm hoping this should just slide in. Let's have a go. Oh, look at that. I've hardly touched the side. Okay, that fits beautifully. I am up for that sort of fitment. That'll sit on there nicely. I'm just trying to get the pipes on so it doesn't fall forwards, which it shouldn't do, but just in case. I think I will plug in the electric adapter connector first, while I can still move it away from the edge. And it's possibly even a glove off situation. Click. Look at that, straight on this time. That's because I've got that connector sorted out rather than it was sort of bodged last time. It fits really neatly now. I mean, you can't get an easier fit, can you? Let's be honest. I did nothing in that. I basically just put it in, which is exactly how it should be. A like-for-like replacement. And the bolt should just go straight in. I don't know if I showed it, but I actually trimmed the wing. Don't tell me off. I trimmed the wing down because someone's already taken a big lump out of it here anyway, and I figured, well, I may as well just take another bit off. And I actually created this sort of, there's a rounded shape there that is supposed to be there to allow this bolt to go in. But where mine's been sort of hit at the front and sort of slightly misshapen for whatever reason, I don't know I'm still obviously tracking that down. This didn't quite align, so it's easier just to just to cut a little bit out, nib a little tiny bit out of that wing. No real problem, I don't think. Tell me off in the comments. In fact, leave me comments, because you know it helps the channel, helps grow the channel. YouTube like it when people leave comments, so please get in there and leave a comment, even if it's just say hi. I will say hi back. Well, I may even say a little bit more. The hardest part is finding which bolt it was. If I remember, I used an old Porsche bolt, didn't I? One of the original bolts. No, that's not it. There it is. It's still an old Porsche bolt, but it wasn't that old Porsche bolt. I'm really pleased with that. That's just such an easy fit, isn't it? You're going to see me flash it up a few times, the Radtec logo and website and everything. You can get all the details out of the... Let me just tighten this up. You can get all the details out of the link, the description, link to the website and everything. Use my code, please use that. That shows that people watch my videos, and it all sort of syncs back up so they know, okay, that was a worthwhile discussion they had with me. And it gives you a discount, which you can't go wrong with, can you? Everyone needs a discount. Let's drop this in and we'll see, I guess. Now, hopefully without the hose connected, let's just pull the hose, if I can. Let's just pull that hose right out the way for a second. I'm always a bit worried about the hose. I don't want to damage it. It's brand new, thank you Adam. Brand new hose, and I don't want to ruin it. I think we're through. We're definitely through, because we're now down. What you do is just make sure the bottom's sitting correctly. And the top. And I need to get the clips off of the old radiator and put them on here. Let me grab those. So, this is just a matter of me manhandling it a little bit to get it line up. Line that pipe up as well before I click it all together, like that. And then down the bottom there, I need to go underneath and just tuck the bottom of this cooling fan assembly. It needs sort of tucking in, and that will allow it then just to drop down correctly. Until I do that, it won't drop down, I don't think. I don't think I can do it from up top. No, okay, well, I'll go do that now. So I'm going to dive back under the car, put the two drain plugs in, and then we'll start filling up the engine via this pipe. I think we do use the other one to fill the radiator, don't we? So let's get that done now. So I don't know if this is the right way around of doing it, but what I'm going to do is put just water in, if I can get it open, where I'm pouring it, and it's going to be a little bit delicate. I'm just going to put water. So if I spill it, it doesn't matter. When it comes to the expansion tank, that's where I'm going to put in all of the actual antifreeze, because I can't spill it there. It'll just, you know, eventually it will mix in. Actually, I could fill the radiator with antifreeze, that's fine. This one here is just really awkward, and I'd much rather be spilling water down across the inside of the engine bay than anywhere else. So yeah, I think that's probably fairly sensible. As at this time, my brain's sort of thinking, is there anything else I'm supposed to do up? I don't think so. I didn't check if the radiator drain plug was done up. I assumed it would have been tight, but I should probably check that before I go pouring a load of liquid in it. Let's do that now quickly. Right, well, it looks a-okay to me under there. So I'm going to put in some in the radiator. Why not, eh? Why not? And I've aligned my clamp on the bottom of the radiator such that I can do it very easily. Unlike whoever did it before me, which was a nightmare. This is, I should tell you what I'm putting in here. This is G48. It's blue. I think that's all you need to know, isn't it? It's blue. and I believe blue is the correct colour. Oop. Overflow. Okay, so I've reached the top of how much can a radiator fit in it? I know. Strange. Perhaps it's bobbling up. Still seems like it's got space. Right. I think what I'm going to do is switch to water there now, because I'm going to be pouring that down the front of the car. Fill up any more from the engine one, I'd be quite happy just to get that on the radiator and not pour liquid all through the inside of the car, or any more liquid through the inside of the car. There we go. That goes on like that, and I just need to rotate the clamp round and do it up. Right, then this last stage should be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to fill it from the coolant thing here. I think I'm going to go in with straight in with the coolant first, and then we'll top it up with water. And then after that, I think all the only things left to do are to put the air tubes back on. I can secure on the fan assembly now while we're waiting. Shouldn't take me 2 seconds. And we're ready to fire up, I think. Okay, I've put as much coolant in as I can. I'm going to start the car up now. I've left the expansion tank open so I can be topping up. Bottles on standby. But yeah, we just check and right up to speed, really. Check that there's no leaks. As if there would be, right? Neutral. On. So I'll nip round here and we'll just keep an eye on the expansion tank. That should drain down pretty quick, I would expect. It should drain down. I can't believe there's enough fluid in there already. That's not moving at the moment. Now one thing that might be hindering it is that it's up on an angle, so why don't I turn it off and I'll reverse it down off of the ramps, because that could be causing airlocks and things. Let's get it flat on the floor and then try again. Now what I was expecting to see is the fluid go down in the expansion tank really quickly, but it's not really moved at all. I can't believe I got it right first time, so I think it's just a matter of waiting. Ultimately that is going to get up to temperature. I'll put it on a little bit more like that. The car seems quite happy. A little bit hesitant on rev up, perhaps. Not too bad. It's not been on for a long time, or what is that, a couple of weeks, week or two. And we'll just bring it up to temperature, just make sure there's no water leaking out anywhere. I'll go underneath periodically and just make sure there's nothing dripping down, but I don't think there will be. Right, it's test time, isn't it? It's on. I've started a few times, I think I probably showed you on the video, and I've topped up the fluid accordingly. Each time it sort of comes down a bit, and I've sort of messed around with it and got it to the right amount. I think it's just, we're good to drive, aren't we? Let's get it out there. I'm not expecting anything bad. I've got it up to temperature on the driveway. The cooling fans have all kicked in, so I know it's getting pretty hot, and there's not a drop, so I'm relatively confident we'll be okay. By the way, I tell my friends I take the car out after doing work, and they always sort of are surprised that I'm so confident that it won't break down, but I don't think I've even got breakdown cover, actually, thinking about it. I need to sort that out before I do a big drive in this, because who knows. Let's take this for a 10-mile drive though, I think. Something like 10, 15 miles. I don't know. Let's just drive for a little while and just see what happens. Right, well, I've been driving now for probably, a good 20 minutes, I guess. Temperature's sat at 85. It's hard to say, it's a bit non-linear, the gauge, isn't it? But it's between the 80 and the next one up, which presumably is 90. Oil pressure's good since I drained out that bit of oil on. I can't put my clutch in at the moment. Driving along in 5th gear, sort of with a little bit of throttle, it's sitting up about 5, just under 5. If I dip the clutch, it's down to about 3.2, so about 3.2 on tick over. So I'm pretty sure I've got the oil sorted now, not too full. Yeah, pretty successful mission, I think. I know we go on about it, but I can't recommend those Radtec radiators enough. Pleasure to deal with the company. The radiators, there's not many things you buy on these cars that are a straight swap. They usually need sort of fettling, or there's a compromise somewhere, you have to bend something out the way or put an adapter in or something. This thing just drops straight in. Well, the only compromise actually is that this thing weighs 50% less. So you've got a nice 3 point something kilogram weight saving in there, which it all helps, doesn't it? It all helps at the end of the day. And the nice thing about this, it doesn't have those stupid plastic things on the edges of the radiator that to me look like they're going to snap off. I don't know why they're there. I know on the early cars they house the oil coolers. There's an oil and a transmission cooler, but this is just a straight radiator. There is no additional cooling on these, so I'm not sure why they're there. But yeah, anyway, can't recommend that enough. So if you want a radiator, please consider the Radtec one. Their website link is in my description. There's a discount code there for the 10%. I think you either call or email Gavin over there, who's a great guy, who'll sort you out. Just mention my channel and you'll get your discount. But yeah, in terms of the video, let's wrap it up there. Thanks as ever for watching. Click the like, subscribe, leave me some comments, and I'll see you next time. That's got the big cooling fans down here running at the moment. That's why you can hear it. They're just turned off now. Those things in there make quite a noise. But that's running pretty sweetly, I'd say. Pretty smooth. No problems, no leaks. Usual nice burble at the back.